In celebration of International Women's Day, a new event with global appeal is coming to New York City.
And joining us with more on the conference that's empowering women around the world is the founder of I'mPOSSIBLE Global, Simone Bresi-Ando. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
I love stories about women empowerment, so please tell us more. Because your foundation was basically founded to celebrate the achievement of women of color around the globe.
This is it.
So will the conference be on the same vein as that?
Exactly. I mean, I'mPOSSIBLE really is about showing these kind of amazing trailblazing women of color that we kind of may know of, or we may think, you know, maybe an urban myth, but what I'm showing them is as fact. There are some amazing women all around the world who are doing some great things on and off screen, you know, and behind the scenes and in front of. And I think we really need to show who these women are, their journeys. And so people are able to look at what they've done, their path, and say, you know, I'm going to take a bit of that and I'm going to do that and I'm going to make better choices for myself.
Why was it important for you to celebrate these women and highlight their achievements?
Because, you know, I'm a PR. I've been working in PR for over a decade now, and I really noticed a negative rhetoric around women of colour, and it irritated me. And so I took that irritation, and what I did is that I turned it into something where I can give a nurturing platform to show the kinds of real stories that really balance that negative rhetoric and show something that I understand, that my friends understand, that my family understands, is that we are normal feeling people who contribute positively to society, to our families, to our communities, and just show a wider range of what black womanhood could be.
What was that rhetoric that you were seeing?
You know, it's anything from, you know, we're bootylicious, we're hot and top Venuses, we get butt injections, all of those stories which they're there to sell.
We throw wine bottles at each other,
Right.
all the Real Housewives foolishness, all of that.
Right.
You wanted this event to counter all of that.
Counter that, but also add to the fray, you know? I don't mind if people want to live their lives like that out in the public sphere, but we have to show something different as well. We have to balance it so people can see a range of what can be. And if we don't do that, what you get is people having self-fulfilling prophecies where they're just actually reenacting these negative stereotypes that don't help them and certainly won't help the communities.
Well, the event is titled The Impossible Conversation. So what exactly will you be speaking about specifically in these conversations?
I know. So, you know, women, you know, it may be stereotypical, but we can talk. And when we talk and when we come together, we're able to heal, we're able to advise, but we're also able to inspire. So that's really what these conversations do. We've got 5 women of colour talking about how they became possible. That's the theme. And so what they do is tell us, you know, what was my biggest failure? What was my biggest fear? But also, what was my success? When was the last time I cried? You know, those kind of things is when you know those stories about people, you're able to think, okay, I'm not going to dismiss this person so readily when I see them on, you know, social media and I think, oh, I don't like that. I'm thinking, no, actually, I know this person's coming from a good place and I'm going to look a bit deeper. So I'm trying to get people to look at the stories and look at women of colour in a more rounded fashion.
So the conversations will be candid.
Yeah, they're going to be frank and they're also going to be personal. There's been many a times, this has been running since 2011 in London, and there's been many a times where some of the panelists would be like, I'm going to share this with you, but, you know, don't tweet it, don't photograph it, because we do get to the core of things. And I think that's the beauty, that I'm able to bring these women together and they're able to open up and really show themselves, their real selves.
So who's opening up this year?
Gosh, it's amazing. So this is the first one in New York. This is the first global edition. And so tomorrow we have Estelle, the Grammy Award-winning singer, which is amazing. You know, Estelle, I've known her since London, and it's great that we're able to connect over here. We have Gilda Squire, who's the publicist and manager of Mitzi Coleman. We also have Whitney Gale Benter. She's a SVP at Revolt TV. Angela Jackson, who's the founder of the Global Language Project, which is an amazing project that basically future-proofs kids by teaching them languages of the emerging markets. So we've got some amazing women. Also, Corinne Cabet, and she basically has founded a social enterprise which empowers or finds the next leaders in the beauty industries, particularly young girls. So it's just an amazing panel. We're gonna have a good time.
And now I'm happy you brought it to New York, because you usually do this in the UK and all over. Why did you choose to bring it to the US this time?
You know what? New York really is. Guys, I love it. I love New York, and it's one of the cultural and sort of like creative birthplaces of I'mPOSSIBLE. While I was working for Sony Ericsson as their global PR manager, I was on a business trip here, and I was able to go to Black Girls Rock ceremony in 2009. And so that's what changed the whole course of my life. You know, I was just like, there are these women here. I need to make sure there are more stories about these kinds of women all over the globe, and I need to present them. So that's what I did, I went back, I promptly left my job, and this is where I am 5 years later.
You quit your job to create this.
Yes.
You took a leap.
I took more than a leap, but it felt like I couldn't do anything else, and it still feels like that. I mean, I can do other things, you know, but this is it. This is where I'm happiest, empowering people and creating these stories.
Well, it sounds like people can get some inspiration from your story as well.
I hope so.
Well, what do you hope women take away when they leave that final day of the conference? What do you hope they leave with?
That they walk out a bit taller, that they look at these women and they think, I see a part of me in there, and also any doubt I had about myself, that they get some tools to quieten them down, and they're able to really just push through and actually achieve the possible. You know, Lupita just very recently said that, you know, seduction of inadequacy. We need to stop that.
Yes.
We need to only think about what's possible.
She said that at the Essence
She said
luncheon,
it.
and there was a collective sigh in the room because
Exactly.
everyone recognized that phrase and what it really meant.
Exactly. And so really I want to work on that. I want to work on how we stop this inadequacy being so seductive, and we work on making the possible seductive. Once you start thinking on a positive end and you're vibrating on that level, all things are achievable. I mean, I really do feel I'm a personal testament to that.
What stops us from feeling like the possible is as seductive as the impossible?
I would say, when I ask this question to the women who follow I'mPOSSIBLE, I would say ourselves are our biggest critics, particularly with the way women are socialised. We're not necessarily socialised to be the most foremost people, the most outspoken people. It's kind of always to take a back seat, to be the caring role.
To hide your light.
Right. So what I'm trying to do is not necessarily get people to forget that, because if that's their choice, that's their choice. But I really want them to also understand that being you, protecting what you are and going for what you want is not a bad thing, and it should actually be at the forefront of all your efforts.
Wow. I'm ready to go too. I want to go to the conference.
Yes.
Can we still sign up, and where and when is it taking place?
We're at capacity.
Oh.
But it's taking
You
place
can
tomorrow.
squeeze in 2 more
Yeah,
people.
you guys
Come
are coming.
on,
Don't worry about that. You guys are coming. You're
Okay,
VIPs.
we're on the list.
But yeah, you're on the list.
So maybe you'll put some stuff on your website afterwards?
Oh, of course. It's on the website now.
Okay.
So that's www.I-am-possible.com. It's taking place tomorrow. My great partners, Mazzani, part of L'Oreal, they have supported me in London since 2011, and they are now a global partner supporting me here. So it's taking place in their venue, and I'm just so happy that we're growing together.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you
congratulations.
so much.
And
We'll
good
see you
luck.
tomorrow. And good luck. Yay!
Thank you.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.